I was explaining you about the crest and trough of the wave, that the crest is just the upper part and the trough is just the down lower portion of the wave. So now we have discussed about amplitude, that the maximum displacement of sound wave along the y or y dash axis will be called as crest or trough. So with the help of this diagram, let's see what is wave. As you can see here, here's a line drawn here, there's a line drawn here, here. The maximum displacement from this position to this position will be termed as amplitude, because the displacement from the mean position, this is the mean, position. So the maximum displacement from the mean position will be known as amplitude. So that we can define amplitude at the maximum displacement with y and y dash axis. Okay, so as you can take a screenshot of this, that the maximum displacement of sound wave along y or y dash axis will be called as amplitude. Now we finish amplitude part and move to our next topic, that is time period. Now what is time period? Time period is the time taken to cover one to and fro motion oblique movement. So the time taken to cover one to and fro movement will be called as the time period. Now if we take this with an example, that what is time period, you can see here as a bob, here's a pendulum drawn again. It's a simple arrangement with a fixed portion, a thread, a weight. The weight is called the bob, it is called the thread, and this is a fixed position, not needed to retain. So as you can see here, I have written in this side that time taken to cover one to and fro movement is called time period. So the pendulum moves one time to, one time fro. So the time taken to cover this to and fro movement, just complete one to and fro movement, will be called as time period. This is very easy. We discussed about amplitude, we discussed about time period. Now let's discuss about the frequency. What is frequency? Frequency is the number of oscillations made per second. Frequency is the number of oscillations made per second. We can say it vibrations as well as oscillations. So the number of vibrations made in 1 second or the number of oscillations made in 1 second, we can call it to be as the frequencies. Okay. Now frequency can also be defined in this structure. Here the pendulum is moving one time here, one time there. So time period is the time taken to cover one complete oscillation, whereas frequency is the number of vibrations made in 1 second. So they have something common in them, right? Now frequency and vibration time period are very different from them. They are different on the basis of the definitions. As the time period goes on with the time taken to cover one to and fro movement, just one single to and fro movement, the time taken to cover it will be called as the time period. Whereas the frequency is the number of vibrations made in 1 second. In 1 second, the number of vibration or oscillation a pendulum makes will be called as frequency. Now we are left with our last topic of part 1, which are the characteristics of sound. Now what do you understand by what is characteristics of sound? Characteristics of sound